Hello everyone, welcome to or back to my channel. My name is Annie and this is going to be my horror reading vlog. I have been so excited about spooky season this year, despite not having any plans yet for Halloween, but that's besides the point. I just wanted to get into the mood, so I decided to film a horror reading vlog. I'm just gonna walk you guys through my TBR real quick. I go into the plot summaries of these books more in depth throughout the video. I just forgot to add an intro, so I'm adding it here. The books I read for this vlog are Incidents Around the House by Josh Malerman, which I got from my library, so I'll put the cover right here. A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson, which I have been wanting to read for a long time and that I own, and a short story collection by Eric LaRocca called The Trees Grew Because I Bled There, which I also got from my library. I was feeling like this is the perfect time of year to read some horror, and I wanted to get more into the spooky vibe, so I hope you enjoy this vlog. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into the video. Last night I started Incidents Around the House by Josh Malerman. Sorry about all the glare on this. I did get it from my library. It's creepy already. It's creepy. I wasn't really sure what to expect going in. I actually didn't even look up a synopsis of this. I just kept hearing that people were saying it was creepy, and I was like, you know what? I want to get into spooky season. I need to be reading some horror, and I have been really craving good horror reads lately. So I got it from my library. I am, I think, 30 pages in. Yeah, I just finished chapter 7. And yeah. We have this girl named Bella. It says on the, I didn't really read this, like the synopsis, but it does say it starts with to 8-year-old Bella. And I don't know, because I'm not really like around children of that age much, but she's reading younger. Although maybe I'm giving 8-year-olds too much credit. I'm not really a kid person. Anyway, that's all besides the point. She lives in a house with her 2 parents. Her parents are having some marital issues. I don't think this is a spoiler. Like, I'm 30 pages in, her mom's cheating. There's this person that she keeps seeing around the house that she calls Other Mommy. And Other Mommy has hair on the backs of her arms, which I don't think others would say is her defining characteristic, but like we don't really have a physical description of her yet. And at one point Bella's like, Other Mommy has hair on the backs of her arms. And I'm like, what do you mean? Is she like a wolf? Like what does she look like? But anyway, Other Mommy usually just like lives in Bella's closet. Okay, that's how they met. They used to be besties. Okay, they loved each other and they had so much fun. And Bella, you know, she struggles. She doesn't really have many friends. She has like 1 or 2 friends, but she doesn't really like get on with other kids. And she loves Other Mommy, but lately Other Mommy's been kind of bugging her. She's always asking a question over and over and over again. She's asking Bella, can I go inside your heart? And Bella like has a bad feeling about this. She keeps saying no. Her and Other Mommy used to play and hang out, and they used to have so much fun together, but now Other Mommy will simply only ask her, can I go into your heart? And she's like, no, and they don't have any fun anymore. Other Mommy has started to emerge outside of her room, and things just aren't looking good. This is looking really creepy. The first page is crazy. Also, look at that. I really like that. The first page just says, good night, Daddo. Good night, Mommy. Mommy and Daddo leave my room. I pull the covers up to my chin. Other Mommy comes out of the closet. Hi, I say. I'm so excited to see you again. I don't know how I feel about that. Creepy. I've never read a Josh Malerman book. I know he wrote Bird Box. I'm excited about it. Looks creepy, so I'll be updating you guys on that. I also am going to start tonight The Trees Grew Because I Bled There, which is a short story collection by Eric LaRocca. I've read one of his other collections, Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke and Other Stories, which I really loved. Obviously, Things That Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke was like the titular one, and it really blew up a year or two ago. This is the second one, and then his third one, I believe, just came out in the past year or so. I've been really wanting to read that newer story collection because I was looking at it in Waterstones about a month ago, and there was an author's note at the beginning, and he's like, hey, my editor maybe put this in. I have to warn you guys, like, this collection is like much more dark and fucked up than my other collections, and even if you've read from me in the past, be warned. I had to put this in. Like, they made me put this in. And I'm like, buddy, what is in that? But I'm kind of like, I want to read his collections in order so I can see his growth because I'm pretentious like that. I'll be reading these. I'm gonna try to read like 2 a day, I think. So today I'm gonna be reading the introduction by Chuck Wendig, who has written other books. I just can't remember what they are right now. Then I'll be reading the first 2. So I'll update you guys later tonight, but these are what I'm reading today. I'm really excited. It is almost the end of September currently. Fall is my favorite time of the year, and I am obsessed with horror and all that stuff, and especially lately I've finally gotten into reading more horror, so I'm just really excited for this vlog. Yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. It's been a couple days and I thought I'd give you guys an update. I am, a little bit over 100 pages into Incidents Around the House, and this book is freaky. I like it. I actually need to spend more time reading it. I've just been a little bit busy and kind of like in a slump, but I'll be okay. I have just like been having a bit of a weird time moving home. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked already. But yeah, I'm home from the UK and I'm still adjusting. It's really weird to be in a place where like most of my friends aren't, and I've just been a little bit down, but I think things are gonna start picking up. I've got like a tutoring gig thing going on, so that way I'll be like getting out of the house a bit more. So there's a life update for you when I actually just meant to talk about books in this. But yeah, Incidents Around the House, I am loving. There's so much complexity and so much going on. One thing I would say is that there's this like device that's used a lot throughout this book where Bella's parents will like come into her room. They'll like have just put her to bed and they think that she's asleep, or sometimes if they just like come in and like sit there when they just want a moment, and then they'll talk to her because they think she's asleep, and they'll like say all this stuff. It's a little bit hard to believe for me because it just feels a little bit like cheesy. I get that it's necessary though, because it's really important that we know how the parents are feeling. So like if I don't think about it too much, it's fine, but when I do, I'm like, would a mother really like be in her child's room talking about how she's cheating to her daughter that she thinks is asleep but like isn't sure? Like probably not, but I'm enjoying the book so much that that's like me being nitpicky. Like that would be my only critique. The book is fabulous. It is genuinely really chilling. I like the kind of sparse descriptions we're getting of Other Mommy, the monster in this. We are kind of like, it's like we know certain characteristics about her, but we don't know exactly what she looks like. Like no matter how many things I hear about how she looks, I'm picturing something in my head, but another person reading this could be picturing something completely different. And I really like that. I love Josh Malerman's writing style. This is the first book of his that I've read, and I am really enjoying it. It's also a really fast read. I just haven't been reading as much as I'd like to. This is what the pages look like. Like, very sparse, lots of double spaces. Oh, it's just really good, very, very spooky vibes. Very scary, actually. I might try reading this with just my flashlight on. I just love, if you can't tell by now, I'm obsessed with like being scared and spooky stuff and horror movies. I'm loving this, and things are getting a bit more intense. The other thing about this book is it's making me really emotional for both horror movies and horror books. I really think it's essential for me as a consumer to get really emotionally invested in characters, and I'm already there with Bella and her parents. None of them are perfect, but I'm there with them, and I care about them, and I think that that's really important. And Josh Malerman has been able to connect me to these characters very early on. Like, I really deeply cared very early on, and it's not just because, you know, Bella's a kid in this situation. Like, I'm not to sound like a bitch, but I'm not just like feeling bad for her. I'm like, oh, so this is why you are this way. And what's really heartbreaking is she doesn't have anyone to talk to about this thing that she's seeing because no one else gets it. And she's trying to protect her parents from it. And she's placing this burden on herself. And I find that, like, I think that as a kid myself, I relate to that. I think a lot of people have been in situations where they're trying to protect their parents from something, which is a weird situation to be in, but it's a relatable one, at least for me anyway. But I'm just loving it. I will let you guys know when I'm further. I just feel like it's gonna go crazy towards the end, and I really just want to binge it. Like, I need to just sit down and read this and finish it, because I think that will be the best thing. In other news, I am reading The Trees Grew Because I Bled There. There are 8 stories in this, and I have read 4 of them, so I'm halfway. So far, the first one was the only dud, which was a bit weird. Like, it was like 6 pages, so fair enough. But I read it and I was like, okay. Like, it was fine. I'm not really gonna go into it because I just felt very bleh. I've rated all of them though, so I rated, yeah, the first one, You Follow Wherever They Go, 2.5 out of 5. It was just very nothing to me, like, and it was so short that I just didn't care. The second one, Bodies Are for Burning, love. The only thing was I didn't get this very tiny little bit at the end, but I loved it otherwise. Bodies Are for Burning is so good. It's about this woman that is obsessed with burning things, and especially people, and it's like this impulse that she has that she can't control, and she's actively afraid that she is going to burn someone alive. And I'll leave it at that because these are short stories. The next thing is The Strange Thing We Become. So good. If you liked Things Have Gotten Worse When We Last Spoke, you'll really like that story because it's told in the same chat room, sort of like, what is it, like an online forum style, so it's like forum posts. It is about a woman who's in a queer relationship and her girlfriend gets diagnosed with cancer, and the thread that she creates is called The Strange Thing We Become because of the way that, like, our bodies and minds and selves change when there's a cancer diagnosis. Our main character, her mother also had cancer, so this is obviously really hard for her, but her girlfriend is definitely changing, and it's not just a cancer thing. So that one was really good, especially like the last scene in that. Very interesting. And I just love LaRocca's writing. It's so beautiful. You know what? I'm gonna read you the thing about burning bodies. Bodies Are for Burning. Just a little section. If you're squeamish, I'll put something on the screen because it's a bit, you know, it's graphic. This is just the beginning bit. So, as the Ivy League stench from Dr. Caldwell's breath tickles the hairs in my nostrils, I think of pushing the burning end of a lighter against his mouth just to get him to shut up. I hate myself for welcoming the thought. I imagine his lips as thin as elastic bands, crisping until black and then sprouting open like exploded grapes left all day in sunlight. Crazy sentence. I could keep going. I'm gonna stop it there. Because these are short stories, so I don't really want to say too much, but his writing is insane. My favorite one so far is the 4th one, which is the titular short story, The Trees Grew Because I Bled There. This is crazy. It's really crazy. It's about a toxic relationship, and that is all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say, because I went in blind, and I think you should too. Like, just this collection is really really great. What I usually do in terms of rating a collection is like I'll rate them all individually, and then I'll like average my rating for the books or for their stories at the end. But honestly, these are fantastic. I want to end up reading everything he's written. I think he has a book out. It's like something about darkness, and then another short story collection came out earlier this year maybe, but I am loving these, so I'll keep you guys updated. The other thing is, because it kind of ties into the vlog, I'm gonna try to do some like spooky things during this vlog because I really want to be in spooky season. I'm gonna watch a lot of horror movies because that's what I do anyway, but it helps. But I watched The Blair Witch Project last night and I really liked it. It's a movie that is obviously a classic, but I just haven't watched for whatever reason. If you don't know what the Blair Witch Project is, I know it's really popular, so you probably do, but it's just a found footage film about 3 students making a documentary about this witch that haunts this town in Maryland, and then things start going wrong. It was really like revolutionary, especially the marketing campaign. The marketing team put up missing posters for all of the actors, and they had to stay like undercover basically until the film came out, and there was a website that was being updated with like lore on the Blair Witch and information about the students that went missing and stuff. So a lot of people actually thought it was real, which is crazy. I find like the making of this film really interesting, and the film itself was terrifying and all felt very real. And it's an interesting film because it's like a lot of the lines were improvised, but it definitely had a clear direction, so it was very like collaborative between the writers and the directors and the actors, because the actors were also like writers themselves. But I loved it. It was kind of freaky, especially the last scene at the end, and I thought it did a really good job of building up a sense of dread. I am a horror movie fiend. Like, I absolutely love them. I don't really watch movies very frequently, but if I do, it's always going to be a horror film, and I do get this urge sometimes to just watch them. Although, you know, I do like horror, like, TV series. Anyway, I'm just rambling now, but I'll check in with you guys when I have some more updates for you. I have some updates. I finished Incidents Around the House and I loved it. I would have to say maybe a 4.5 out of 5. This was so good. Again, sorry about the glare. I feel like you can never see it. I think I wasn't expecting to like this very much, to be honest, because I love horror stuff, but I'm typically very into like a slashery thing as opposed to paranormal stuff. I was very pleasantly surprised. I think I might have mentioned before on my channel that I feel like horror only works for me when there's some reason to care about our main characters besides just the bad things that are happening to them. And I think that this was one of those times. Like, Bella, I mean, I felt for her because she was a kid and she was innocent, and she, like, the things that she liked to do were all so cute. I'm not usually much of a kid person, but I was like, oh. Getting her perspective during the whole story was really interesting. It seemed like there could be so many ways to mess up that aspect, but Josh Malerman nailed it. Like, I really felt he did the perfect job of balancing the way that she can't really grasp everything, especially deeper meanings behind things, but she sort of stumbles on making these assertions that are really astute assertions. I think that is something that's very true about kids, and I loved the way that she was written, and I liked getting this story from her perspective. I also loved the dad. I hated the mom, but I just thought that overall it was a really strong story, and I didn't expect the emotional impact it would have on me, because of course it's a story about a haunting, but at its core it's really just a story about a family. And I found it so interesting. The only reason why it wouldn't be completely 5 stars is because of some of the dialogue. I didn't mind it the farther I got into the book, but it's just the whole, what I mentioned before, where it's like her parents are just sitting on the end of her bed, like telling her all this stuff that you would simply never say to your child, even if they were asleep. Like, you would just never do that. And some of the dialogue was a bit like, do people talk like that? No, but we have to do it for the plot. So I think it felt a little, I don't know if gimmicky is the right word, but it like clearly had a purpose, and that would be kind of my only critique. It annoyed me, but I liked the book so much that it didn't really matter as much in the end. So I loved it. Also, last night I read 2 more stories in The Trees Grew Because I Bled There. And one of them was so good. Let me see if I can remember. What was it called? So, You're Not Supposed to Be Here is the 6th story in the collection, and I loved it. I think it might have been one of the longest ones. I read the 5th and 6th stories last night. So You're Not Supposed to Be Here was the 5th, and they were each like 30 or 35 pages long. The rocket will sometimes explore the pressure we feel to be polite to strangers, or the constraints that polite society has on us, and the ways that this can turn sinister or restrictive. And I love it when he does stuff like that. This story, I won't say much about the plot, but it reminded me of this game show. I can't remember what it's called. I'll put it somewhere if I can end up remembering. It's this game show that used to be on in like the 2000s, where people would basically come on the show and be asked all these questions, and they got more and more personal as you went on. People would admit crazy things on the show, like crimes that they'd committed, that they had cheated on their partner, and their partner was sitting right there. So you have to basically tell the truth about these things in front of your family and your significant other. And it seems like the show does like research on what questions to ask you, but it like literally tears family apart, and you get more money the more questions you answer. So anyway, it reminded me of that. It's not a game show setting. It's literally set in a park, but it's the same like vibe. And then the next one was called something confusing, Where Flames Burned Emerald as Grass. I liked the atmosphere of that one, but I didn't find it scary. It said at this like resort in Spain, and I just didn't really care. 2 out of 6 have been misses for me, which I feel like is not bad, because the other ones have been such hits that I'm really happy with it. I'll probably try to finish this soon. But for the next novel I'm reading, I have A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. I have been wanting to read this book for so long. I have a copy. I have my little bookmark with the tassel, which is nice. And I am like 35 pages in. I've already been underlining things. The quotes in this are insane. I predict that I'm gonna love this book. It's the perfect time of year to read it. It's a story about Dracula and his wives. I don't know much about the Dracula myth, but I would love to get into it more after reading this. We follow Constanta, who is one of his wives. It's in second person. It's all addressed to Dracula, who she has killed. The quotes are just amazing. Okay, I'll just read you like the first little vignette, because they're told in all these vignettes, and some of them get longer and will like be full pages, but at least in the first part it is looking a little bit like this, which is making it a quick read. I never dreamed it would end like this, my lord. Your blood splashing hot flecks onto my nightgown and pouring in rivulets onto our bedchamber floor. But creatures like us live a long time. There is no horror left in this world that can surprise me. Eventually, even your death becomes its own sort of inevitability. Like, the writing is just so good. And like this one killed me. Even loneliness, hollow and cold, becomes so familiar it starts to feel like a friend. I can already tell what it's really about is an abusive relationship and a woman trying to recover from it. And I just am obsessed with the atmospheric writing that we're getting, with just the sheer number of quotes. It's gothic, it's wonderful so far, so I am really excited to get more into it. So far, all that's happened was she kind of introed this and was like, I'm gonna write these, like, I'm gonna write down the history of what happened to you so that I don't forget, so I don't become complacent and like hate you as much as I should, and so I won't regret killing you. Basically, her village had been in a war, and Dracula found her like bloodied and beaten and on the brink of death, and decided to save her life, and then brings her to his castle as his bride. And that's basically what's happened so far. I'm going to read you another quote real quick because it's so good. My lord, my liege, beloved, king, my darling, my defender. I had so many names for you in those days, my cup of devotion overflowing with titles worthy of your station. I used your name too, the one your mother had given you, but only in our most intimate moments, when I comforted you during your rare displays of weakness or made a vow to you as a woman, as a wife. But I'm not your wife anymore, my lord, and I don't think you ever truly saw me as a whole woman. I was always a student, a project, an accessory in the legal decorative sense. You did not let me keep my name, so I will strip you of yours. In this world, you are what I say you are, and I say you are a ghost, a long night's fever dream that I have finally woken up from. I say you are the smoke-wisp memory of a flame, thawing ice suffering under an early spring sun, a chalk ledger of debts being wiped clean. I say you do not have a name. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with it. I'm only 30 pages in and I'm obsessed. So I can't wait to keep reading it, and I'll fill you guys in when I have more updates. Hi, it's been a couple days and I'm almost done with A Dowry of Blood. I'm obsessed with this book. It's so good. It's so atmospheric. It's a gothic novel and I just feel transported. They go all over Europe in this book too, which is really cool. They start in Romania and then they go all sorts of places like Venice, Vienna, Lyon, all sorts of places. It's just so good. You can probably tell I really liked the writing style from the last clip, and that has continued, and I'm finally getting to the part where Dracula's murder is being planned, so I'm almost at the end. I have that much left, but this is like extras or something, so I really only have like 65 pages left, and I can't wait. I'm loving getting to know the other partners that Dracula has. This novel does follow a polyamorous relationship. Sorry about this. It's like hitting the back of the book. These 3 partners that Dracula has team up together to kill him, which is all set on the back. So it's hard to kind of be spoiled for this book, I guess. So we learn about Dracula's other partners over time and we meet them throughout the book. And the book is split into 3 parts so far. And at the beginning of like part 2, we meet the first one. And at the beginning of part 3, we meet the second one. So there's Constanta and then 2 other ones, and we're in Constanta's perspective the whole time. They all have a polyamorous relationship, but it operates kind of like a family with an abusive father. Like, yes, they're all romantically linked. I don't mean to be like making it sound creepy or anything like that. It's not like that, but the way he treats them when he turns them, Dracula, is to infantilize them. He's always telling them that they're too weak to do X, Y, and Z, and he will call them. This part I don't like. When they bring in another wife, her name is Magdalena, I love her. Dracula refers to her and Constanta as sisters, and I'm not into that, but I do kind of understand what he's saying in terms of like, yeah, I'm basically like, I sired you. I sired both of you. You guys are my creations, and I don't know, Dracula's terrifying in this book. I don't know, he's not vampire scary though. He's human scary. He's like just a manipulative asshole. He's very science minded, and that manifests itself in the relationship. Let me see if I had any other quotes I wanted to share. Okay, I have one quote to share. I think this quote captures how atmospheric this book is, even though this passage isn't about physical scenery or anything. You seem to me a fire burning in the woods. I was drawn in by your enticing, smoky darkness, a darkness that still stirs memories of safety, of autumn, of home. I touched you the way I would touch any other man, trying to make my eager presence known and inscribe some sense of intimacy between us, but it was like grasping at a flame. I never penetrated to the burning heart of you, only came away with empty, scorched fingers. So good. I feel like this might be 5 stars. I read so much of it yesterday. I was like locked in. I think I read maybe 125 pages or something. So I'm definitely gonna finish it tonight and I'll let you know my thoughts. In terms of other news, I still need to finish The Trees Grew Because I Bled There. I actually only have, I think it's like a total of 30 pages left, the last 2 stories. I've just been kind of wrapped up in A Dowry of Blood. And I'm kicking myself because tomorrow I'm going to CJ Leeds' launch event at Barnes & Noble for American Rapture. It's release day, which is so exciting that I get to go. I'm gonna make a whole day of it. I'll bring you guys with me. But she's gonna be talking to Chuck Tingle. Like, he's gonna be, I guess, interviewing her. It's like a, you know, in conversation with type thing. And I have Camp Damascus by Chuck Tingle, and I should have prioritized that and read that before A Dowry of Blood if I was going to include both in the vlog, and I didn't do that. So I'm going to be starting that tomorrow or possibly tonight. I don't know if he'll be signing books too, but I'm going to bring it, and I want to at least have like a bit done before I see him because I've been wanting to read his book for ages, and I kind of dropped the ball on that one. Right now I'm just gonna head off to CVS to pick up some stuff and to the library to get a book I'm gonna read for my next reading vlog. I've been just kind of lazy today. You might think that it's early because it looks like I just showered. It's almost 6 p.m. I've had really bad IBS stuff going on. I get really constipated and it's very, very uncomfortable. So I've just been a bit sick to my stomach today. I woke up with a migraine, but you know what? At least I'm getting out of the house, okay? And tomorrow's gonna be a really fun day. I'm really excited. So I'll update you guys later tonight, potentially, or you'll see me tomorrow. Bye. Hi, it's the next day. I'm on my way to LA, but I stopped for Cane's. I already ate my Texas toast. I'm gonna have the chicken now. I'm so excited for today. I got a bit of a later start. Ignore that I just did that. A bit of a later start than I wanted to. I probably shouldn't have started the film while I was eating. Sorry. I miss Cane's so much. It's my first time being back since I've been back in the States, and I've been waiting for this day. Sorry, I'm gonna talk and then finish eating. Yeah, got a bit of a later start. It's like 12:45 right now. The thing at Barnes & Noble isn't even until 7, but I wanna get there for 6. They said get there for 6 if you want free stuff, and obviously I want free stuff. I hope I get it. I think I'm gonna go thrifting when I get up there. That's the first thing I'm gonna do. And then I'm gonna go to this cafe that I'm so excited to go to. It's a horror themed cafe. And this is a horror themed vlog, and I'm so excited. So I'll go to that, and then I'll probably go straight from the cafe to Barnes & Noble because I'm probably gonna stay at the cafe and read and edit for a while. I'll go thrifting first. I need kind of clothes in general, but specifically I'm going to the 17 concert in LA, and I'm gonna try to get an outfit for the concert. I don't know if they'll have exactly what I have in mind at the thrift store. It's always kind of like a gamble, but I'm gonna go thrifting. So yeah, I will finish my Cane's and then go out on the road. I'm just so excited for today. Oh, also, so last night I didn't end up finishing A Dowry of Blood or doing any reading, to be honest. I just played on my Switch. I played a bunch of Stardew Valley. So yeah, at the cafe, I'm going to try to finish it and start Camp Damascus. I'm just so excited for today. Okay, I'll talk to you guys when I'm in LA. I just finished at the thrift store. I didn't find anything, unfortunately. Actually, I found loads of cute stuff, but they were all like $40 or above. And I also found a bunch of really cute shoes, but they were not my size. The ones that were like 15 or 20 bucks. And I am the kind of person where when I go thrifting, like unless I have a bigger budget than I do right now because I am currently unemployed, I prefer everything I buy to be under $20 and honestly mostly under $10. Under 20 would be like for something nice, but the guy that was running it was super nice. He has such a cool store. You should go if you're in LA. It's called Eclectica Vintage. It's so cool. There's so much stuff in there. Like honestly, you can kind of get lost. And there's like cool jewelry. There's all sorts of cool stuff, but just anytime I found something I wanted, it was like more expensive than I was wanting to spend. But honestly, like he had really cool like vintage leather jackets for like 60 bucks. Like just really good quality stuff. I wish I remembered my hand sanitizer because my hands are a little bit dusty. But yeah, I'm debating if I should just go straight to this cafe or if I should go to another vintage shop. I don't know. I really have to go to the bathroom. So I don't know, but it's only like 2:45. Maybe I will. I'll see what I can do. I'm gonna go to another one. Hopefully one where I can find some stuff that's cheap. But yeah, I'm really glad I went there because it was super cool. Oh, I forgot. I actually did find these glasses that were perfect for my outfit for the 17 concert. They were $40. So I was like, I think it's also knowing that I can find this stuff probably for like $5 on eBay. I don't know, but he had some really cool stuff. I just am kind of slightly broke. Yeah, so I'm gonna go to another thrift store. All right, I'll see you guys. Hi, so I went to that thrift store and I did get something. I got this shirt. I don't know, it'll look cuter on, but it's just like a red shirt with kind of like short sleeves and this like, what is it? Like flower detailing. I might give you a try on because it looks really cute on. This was $5 and the store was so nice. What is it called? It was St. Philomena Thrift Store in North Hollywood. Really, really good. I would highly recommend. I almost got a bunch of different stuff, but I restrained myself. So I had a great time there. I really need to go to the bathroom. So I'm going to the cafe. I'm kind of tempted to go to this other bookstore that's like a secondhand bookstore called Iliad Books, but it's 4 now. So we'll see. I don't know. It depends on how long I want to stay at this cafe. I might just go straight to the Barnes & Noble after, or I'll stop there. But yeah, I'm so excited to go to this cafe and I'm gonna do some reading there. I'm definitely gonna finish A Dowry of Blood, and then I brought Camp Damascus to start. I don't know if I'll be finishing this in this vlog, but I definitely want to start it. I'll check in with you guys when I'm done at the cafe. Okay, wow, this lighting is kind of slay. I just finished A Dowry of Blood at the horror cafe. The cafe was really cool. I wish that it had more places to sit, but I did like it. I got a like maple latte that was called like the Nightmare on Maple Street latte. It was just a really cute place, and I got a cinnamon roll, but my IBS has been acting up a lot and my stomach is in pain, so I didn't finish the cinnamon roll. I'm gonna save it for later. But yeah, I finished A Dowry of Blood and I loved it. No surprise. Like, I think it's a 5-star book for me. Maybe like 4.5. I loved it. The only thing that made me not like it as much was there was a short story in the back. It was like a sequel short story called An Encore of Roses, I believe. I thought it was just okay. And it almost like reading that directly after, I was like, eh. But I loved the actual book. Yeah, 5 stars. I don't know if there's much more to say about it other than I loved it. So it's like 5:25. I think I'm gonna stop by this bookstore real quick before I go to Barnes & Noble. It's a secondhand bookstore and I'm just gonna go because I have a little bit of time. I want to be at the Barnes & Noble at 6, but I have a little bit of time. It's like a 5-minute drive to this bookstore and then a 10-minute drive from there to Barnes & Noble. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'll probably catch up with you guys after the CJ Lead event, which I'm just so excited for. I know this lighting is not the greatest at all, but I just finished at the event and I had literally the best time. It was great. I was in the front row and CJ was just sitting like right across from me basically, and I like got to ask a question. Her and Chuck have like, they're friends, so it was really fun watching him interview her, and it was just like such a nice little group of people that came. Like there was a lot of people there as well. More people showed up than Barnes & Noble expected. A bunch of people were standing in the back, so I kind of felt for them, but it was such a good event. I obviously got to meet them and they signed my books. Chuck Tingle, actually when I got this book, it had this little sticker in there from Chuck, so he like personalized it, and then he added another signature there. I did wish that I got Bury Your Gaze while I was at the Barnes & Noble, but just buying American Rapture was like $30 and I just wasn't prepared to drop $60, especially when I can hopefully get it secondhand or something. But when I was up there, I was like, oh, if I got it, then it would be signed, but it's okay. And then she signed my copy of Mayfly. And so when I told her that I wrote my dissertation about it, she said, she was like, oh, so like you're the Halloween queen. And I was like, yeah, kind of, like you could say that. So she wrote, to Annie, the Halloween queen, you rock, happy haunting, CJ Lead. And I have my beautiful, where is it? Oh, my beautiful copy of American Rapture now. I'm literally so excited. I'm gonna read this. I think I'm just gonna start it tonight. I cannot wait. I'm so happy. Oh god, I'm such a nerd. Like this event has made me literally so happy. She said, to Annie, keep it sinful, and I will, not to worry. And then she was giving out all this free stuff. We have these like postcards. This one says, welcome to Wisconsin, the end times are coming, because this book is set in Wisconsin and it's like an apocalypse book. And then lust drags you down to hell. 555 end times lead 1024. From what I understand, American Rapture is a book about an apocalypse with a virus spreading that makes everyone super lustful. Little Catholic girl is our main character. So it was just so great hearing her talk about the book and the ideas behind it. And basically what I asked her was like, Mayfly had a pretty clear sonic, oh my god, anyway, Mayfly had a clear kind of sonic world that it was set in. Like Maeve is obsessed with horror music. CJ Lead like made a playlist for Mayfly on Spotify and everything. And so I basically asked if there was a similar thing for this and like what music she listened to while she wrote it. She said lots of like Fiona Apple, lots of Alanis Morissette, and stuff like that, and hymns. So yeah, I'm just so excited. Oh, I was showing you the merch. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit scattered. So yeah, we have the postcards. There's a little pin that says Late Night Forbidden Book Club. And it has some books and like a window. with wind blowing through. We have a sticker, which I think I'm gonna put on my Kindle, that says, "Forgive me, Father." A little rosary that says Barghest on it. I learned at the thing that there's a dog in this book called Barghest. So interested to see what that's about. And then we have a little Saint Maro the Paladin tarot card type thing with a little QR code on the back. I'm not sure what that, I'll see what it goes to. And then she also had some matches that have the little lust drags you down thing on there. So, oh my god, and I'm forgetting the best one. It says, "I went to the American Rapture tour and all I got was this Catholic guilt." And then it has the book on the back. So I'm happy. I'm really happy. I think I'm gonna close out the vlog here. Oh my god, no, I can't end the vlog here. I need to read the last 2 stories in the trees grew because I bled there. I'm gonna finish that and then I'll wrap up this vlog. Sorry. And I apologize again for the horrendous lighting in this van. I'm gonna go get some Mexican food and go home. Bye. So it's been a couple days and I have finished The Trees Grew because I bled there. I read the last 2 stories. Don't know why it took me so long to get to them because it was literally 30 pages, but I ended up really loving this story collection as a whole. The last 2 I thought were just okay. One of them is about our narrator who has a mother that lives in Italy and is very old. So the mom comes and moves in with them and they're dealing with that sort of stuff. And then the last one was about a father and a son with a really interesting relationship. And I just felt like they were fine. But in general, I did really, really love this collection. I think the ones that didn't stand out for me were like, and I think it did end up being about half of the collection, but the ones that were good were so good that when I did average out all my little scores, I think the collection overall got like a 3.75 out of 5 for me. So I'm really happy with it and I can't wait to read more of what he's written. I just think his writing is brilliant and these stories were really good. I'm not always one for a short story collection, but these really got me in the mood. And it is actually really nice to read short stories sometimes because then you feel like you've accomplished something even though you've only read, I don't know, 10 to 30 pages. So I would definitely recommend this. Just, you know, I liked some stories better than others. And I feel like that is kind of just how it is with short story collections. In other news, I am starting American Rapture today. I'm only like 10 pages in so far, but I am really liking the vibes and I'm just so excited to read it. So stay tuned for a review and potentially a reading vlog for that coming soon. But I am going to wrap up this vlog here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any horror book or movie recommendations, please let me know down below, or horror TV shows I could be into as well. But yeah, let me know what you're watching or reading to get into spooky season. If you like this video, give it a like. If you watched to this point in the video, put a tree emoji and a drop of blood emoji for The Trees Grew because I bled there. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more videos from me in the future. I hope you're having a great day and I will see you in the next video. Bye.